Hi Devils, welcome back. Manuel Ugarte will not be the only player Manchester United supporters will hoping to see in the starting lineup at Southampton on Saturday lunchtime. After very harshly being dropped to the substitutes bench for the visit of Liverpool prior to the international break, Amad, albeit at 3-0 down, tried to put a more respectable look on the scoreline during his second half cameo appearance. Axed from the starting lineup to make room for Alejandro Garnacho for the first time this season, the Ivorian was lively after being introduced with 69 minutes played, replacing the aforementioned Argentine on the right wing. During his 21 minutes on the pitch, he had 24 touches of the ball, finished the game with a 91% passing accuracy, completing 10 of his 11 attempted passes, produced 2 key passes, and had 8 touches of the ball inside Liverpool's penalty area. His efforts did not change the outcome of the match, but he was able to walk back down the Stretford End tunnel to the dressing room in the knowledge he had tried his best. United supporters certainly recognised that as well. The visit of Liverpool marked the first game this season that Amad had failed to start. Manager Erik Ten Hag, ahead of kickoff, cited tactical reasons as the purpose behind his omission. Garnacho started on the right in his absence, meaning Marcus Rashford kept his place on the left. Ten Hag had vigorously defended Rashford in the build-up to the visit of Arne Slot's side, hitting back at Alan Shearer's analysis of the academy graduates' performance at Brighton and Hove Albion the previous weekend. On the back of that, there was never any doubt that Rashford would lose his place. Producing lacklustre performances for the bulk of last season, resulting in him scoring just 8 Premier League goals, supporters' frustrations with Rashford are mounting. Many booed the decision that saw Garnacho hauled off ahead of Rashford in the second half last weekend. An ever-increasing number of United fans now want to see Amad and Garnacho occupy the 2 wide positions from the start of matches. Garnacho has scored one and created one so far this season, while Amad, who shone in pre-season, was on the score sheet at Brighton and was crowned the club's Player of the Month for August. Amad, who excelled on loan at Sunderland in 2022-23, has registered more touches inside the opposition's penalty area, 12 than any other United player so far this season. He has also registered more final third carries, 8, and box entries 7 than any other member of the squad. On that evidence, it should be impossible for Ten Hag to overlook the winger at St Mary's this weekend. He is a threat every time he gets in and around the penalty area. He is also displaying a sense of confidence when he is on the ball in dangerous areas. On the flip side, Rashford is not offering a regular threat inside the final third. He has not scored or assisted so far this season, making him the only winger who has started for United so far this term yet to do so. Once Rasmus Højlund is back from his hamstring injury, which could be as soon as this weekend, Ten Hag needs to work out his preferred front 3 and attempt to stick with it. He has deployed 2 different attacking combinations so far this season, and neither of them have carried what you would describe as a consistent threat as a collective. But deploying an attack consisting of a recognised number 9 and 2 young and hungry wingers has the potential to excite. Amad and Garnacho have been United's best performing wingers over the last few months and both deserve to start ahead of Rashford. If Højlund soon returns, the prospect of him being deployed sandwiched between Amad and Garnacho up front will result in United's fans licking their lips. It is the attack almost all of them are begging to see. Hey, and welcome again. Manchester United's hopes of luring Zinedine Zidane to Old Trafford could hinge on whether the Frenchman has changed his mind about working in England. Zidane, 52, has been out work since leaving Real Madrid for the second time in 2021, and reports linking him with the United job have been popping up ever since. Erik Ten Hag is under immense pressure after 2 defeats in United's first 3 Premier League matches, the latest of which being a 3-0 hammering at the hands of rivals Liverpool. As such, rumours are swirling that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is eyeing up possible replacements, with Zidane one of several names reportedly being considered. The Red Devils approached the 1998 World Cup winner following Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's dismissal back in 2021, only for Zidane to rule himself out of the running. Explaining his decision to French outlet L'Équipe, he said, "Would I want to go to Manchester United? I understand English, but I'm not completely fluent in it. I know that there are coaches who go to clubs without speaking the language, But I work in a different way. Many elements come into play in order to win. It is a global context. I know what I need to win. Whether Zidane's English has improved since then is anyone's guess. But United will presumably have to cross him off their list. It hasn't. That said, reports in France claim Zidane was interested in taking over at the club a few months ago, prior to Ten Hag extending his stay. The same can be said for former Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel, who spoke to United following his Bayern Munich departure at the end of last season. It's understood an agreement was close to being finalised, though United ultimately ended up sticking with Ten Hag. Amid reports, Tuchel was unsatisfied with the club's transfer policy. The German is still out of work, and a second approach could be on the cards should United and Ten Hag part ways in the coming weeks. His Chelsea successor Graham Potter and ex-England manager Gareth Southgate, two coaches Ratcliffe has reportedly admired for years, are also in contention for the job should the axe swing. Zidane, meanwhile, has had something of an unconventional managerial career. After 2 years in charge of Real Madrid Castilla, he was promoted to first-team coach in 2016. He won the Champions League in his first season at the helm before successfully defending the title twice, becoming, at the time, only the third manager to win the tournament 3 times, after Bob Paisley and Carlo Ancelotti. He quit the job in 2018, only returned to return less than a year later. His second stint wasn't quite as fruitful as his first, with Madrid clinching just one major honour, the La Liga title, in the 2 and a bit years that followed. Since leaving the post at the end of the 2020-21 season, several attempts have been made to coax Zidane back into management. Bayern Munich have shown an interest in him in the past, as have several national teams including USA, Brazil and Algeria, the birthplace of both of his parents. Zizou has ultimately rejected all advances thus far, but has insisted in recent months that his managerial career isn't over. "Anything can happen," he said back in February. "Now I'm doing other things, but we'll see. I'd certainly like to return to the bench." In 2022, he suggested he'd return to the dugout if the right offer came along. "Never say never," Zidane told L'Équipe, "especially when you're a coach today. If I go back to a club, it is to win. I say this with all modesty. That's why I can't just go anywhere.